Welcome to MATCH B2B Insights. I'm Benny Fluman, here with Daniel Weiss, and this show is very simple. Practical conversations about B2B revenue, positioning, and pipeline. Not theory for slides, not random growth hacks. We talk about what actually helps companies get understood, get meetings, and build commercial traction.
Yeah, and a big part of that is translation. A lot of companies, especially technical ones, know exactly what they built, but they struggle to explain it in commercial language buyers respond to. So we try to bridge that gap between internal product logic and external buying reality.
And today we're using cybersecurity because, honestly, it's one of the clearest examples of a category where smart companies end up sounding almost identical. Strong products, serious teams, real innovation, but the message? Flat, blurry, hard to remember.
If you've spent 10 minutes on cyber websites, you've seen the pattern. AI-powered, real-time protection, unified platform, complete visibility, next-gen whatever. And look, some of those things may be true. The issue is not accuracy. The issue is usefulness.
Exactly. Walk through RSA conference and booth after booth starts to melt together. Same colors, same language, same promises. At some point, you're not evaluating value, you're just surviving the vocabulary. It's like speed dating with threat detection.
And when everything sounds familiar, buyers filter faster. They don't lean in, they move on. Attention becomes harder to earn because the category trained them to ignore generic language.
This is where it gets expensive. Generic messaging doesn't just make you sound boring, it hurts pipeline. If your outbound sounds like everyone else, reply rates drop. If your website sounds broad and abstract, conversion drops. Curiosity drops first, then urgency, then confidence.
Right. Buyers need a reason to believe you're relevant now. Vague claims don't create that. They create distance. A company can have a genuinely strong product, but if the message is too broad, the market treats it as interchangeable. That's the danger.
And interchangeable is deadly in B2B. Because once you're seen as one more vendor in the pile, the conversation shifts to price, feature checklists, and long evaluation cycles. Not a great place to start.
One of the most common mistakes we see is confusing capabilities with positioning. A feature says what the product does. Business pain says what goes wrong without it. Those are not the same thing.
Yes, buyers rarely wake up saying, I need better telemetry correlation. They wake up saying, my team is overloaded, incidents take too long to triage, auditors are asking questions, or one mistake is going to become a board issue.
Exactly. They care about cost, risk, time, accountability, operational burden. So if your feature is automated detection, fine. But the message has to connect it to a felt consequence. Less analyst overload, faster containment, fewer blind spots, clearer ownership. That's what makes it commercially legible.
Good positioning is usually less glamorous than people think. It's not a poetry contest. It names a specific problem for a specific buyer with a specific outcome. That's it. Clear beats clever almost every time.
So compare something weak like, we deliver next-generation AI-powered security visibility with something stronger like, we help lean security teams cut investigation time when alerts spike across cloud and endpoint environments. The second one is narrower, but that's why it works.
And it creates relevance quickly. The buyer can say, yes, that's my problem, or no, it's not. That's good. Clarity is valuable. More adjectives do not create more demand. Usually they create more confusion.
A practical formula here is pain, trigger, consequence, relevance. What's hurting, what causes it, what happens if it continues, and why this buyer should care.
So instead of saying, we offer an AI-driven cyber platform for real-time protection, say something like, when security teams add more tools, alert volume usually rises faster than investigation capacity, which means slower response and more analyst fatigue. We've been helping teams reduce that operational drag. Very different opening.
Yeah, because it earns the next question. It doesn't just sound polished, and that's the goal. An opening message should start a conversation, not win a brochure award. I don't think RSA gives trophies for most impressive use of the phrase next gen. At least I hope not.
Let's use the CrowdStrike versus Sentinel-1 framing carefully, because we're not pretending product differences don't matter. They do. But market perception is shaped by narrative as much as by capability.
That's the important point. In crowded categories, buyers often remember the company that framed the problem best, not the one that listed the most functions. Narrative helps people organize value. It answers why this company, in this moment, for this kind of operational challenge.
And the stronger narratives usually anchor on business ideas people can hold on to: control, speed, efficiency, governance, team relief. Those frames are easier to remember than a stack of technical claims. So yes, product matters. But the story around the product often decides who stays top of mind.
Cybersecurity messaging doesn't need to sound robotic to sound credible. In fact, conversational and specific usually performs better, especially in outbound, founder-led sales, partner conversations, and even homepage copy.
I agree. People don't trust jargon just because it's long. Sometimes they trust you more when you say, "Look, your team is drowning in alerts and nobody has time to investigate properly." That's human. That's real. That's not less professional. It's more honest.
And honesty improves credibility. When the message is grounded and clear, buyers feel less like they're being pitched and more like they're being understood. That's a much better starting point for any serious B2B sale.
So if you're listening and your company feels technically strong but commercially generic, or your pipeline is weaker than it should be given the effort you're putting in, that's usually the moment to reach out. Those are structural issues, not just copy issues.
MATCH B2B offers a package for small companies, and there's also a special package for Israel during the war. If that's relevant to your situation, use the link in the post to schedule a short call. We can check fit quickly and also see whether you may qualify for a state subsidy.
Short call, practical discussion, no drama, no giant process. Benny Fluman here with Daniel Weiss. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Benny. See you next time.